It's hard to believe that we're almost at the end of another year. 2024 is coming to a close even before our very eyes. I remember when I was a kid, they told me the older you get, the faster the time goes by. Man, they were not kidding me. I don't even want to see what it looks like 10 years from now. My name is Thomas Shirley, and I help you build your life better, spirit, soul, and body. And I want to bring a prophetic word to you today. I want to speak into your heart today some things that have been coming to me from God on behalf of people and humanity, the earth in which we live right now. Many of you have been trying to kind of push your way. You have an idea of how you want your life to be. And so you've been pretty pushy about it, pretty insistent about it, even pouty with God. God says no. The way that you are trying to do the things that you are trying to do are not going to be permissible for you to experience what you want to experience. In other words, we all have things that we envision in our hearts, the way that we would like our lives to be, perhaps in relationships. And specifically, I feel like in relationships, there's a very clear call on this subject for people, maybe business, maybe a way that you're trying to live your life, maybe a philosophy that you're trying to adopt, and you can't seem to understand why things are not moving forward. It is simply because God says no. And I love when God brings a word like this at this season, because November, December, January, February, even into March, like those are kind of the dead months. Like everything dies off, shuts down, all the trees go into their hibernation, like it just kind of slows down, and there isn't much growth, there isn't much speed or acceleration to what's happening. And so as God has led me to release these prophetic words again, one of the things that he's making very clear to me today is it's a season. Everything is seasonal, and it doesn't always match up this way. I'm actually going to come back something else he's been showing me about the time of the year that we're in. But this season right now of shutting down, this season of rest, this is a season traditionally throughout the history of mankind, where once all of the crops have been harvested and everything's taken care of, like mostly people would kind of shut down for a few months. There wasn't much they could do, wasn't much they could build or experience, and so they just kind of shut down. And in this season that we're in right now, there are two things happening. There's one part of it is God says no. God has already said no. You may be in a situation that you can't just easily remove yourself from. You may be embroiled in the momentum of the way that you have chosen to go. But there is tremendous power in exercising humility and saying, God, I know that you're saying no to this, so I am going to trust you. I want you to show me the steps that I can take, and I trust you to remove everything that I've built that is not of you. Being a throne builder means that you are establishing something, and we all are. We all manifest. We all create. We are all extensions of the corporate consciousness, of infinite intelligence, the manifest nature of God. That is who we are on this planet. We are the Word of God, and we are here to express. And God is speaking no to us right now because the door has got to be closed on the things that are hindering or perhaps simply hampering the good things that God is trying to bring into our lives, the good answered prayers, the good life changes, the good release of good things into the world around us so that his dominion can be established in the world around us. The other part of that for many, many people is that it is a season where you are being called to rest, not because the answer is no, not because God is saying, I'm going to strip all this from you, but it is a time for us to rest in the sense of, God, I'm going to just trust you to work this out. Coming into that place of absolute surrender where I really can't do anything to make this happen. Maybe it comes in the form of physical issues, health problems. Maybe it comes in the form of like intensified relationship crises or financial crises or whatever. And here we are coming up on the election for on the federal level in America, and in just a few days. And maybe that's a part of it. Like everything that God is trying to do right now is just trying to get all of us to stop focusing on all the stuff we've been focused on, so that instead we can manifest his light. We can be who he is. And right now it's an important time to rest, because when you're rested, you can heal. When you're resting, you can experience a different perspective about your life. If you've ever been bedridden from some type of a disease, I remember years ago I had something weird happen with my colon, and I will spare you many, many details, but it was extremely uncomfortable. It's probably 10, 12 years ago now. an extremely uncomfortable time where for 5 days I was on the couch. I was either on the couch or I managed to get help up off the couch and I could stagger in to use the restroom and then go lay on my bed, right? During that time, I remember this radical awareness that this is not meant to be, but it is. I can do nothing about this right now, but I can look to the one who can, that life within me, that kingdom within me. And it was such a cool time of introspection. And recently, I've had some issues with my feet that have made it very difficult for me to be on my feet for any extended period of time, especially like walking back and forth. And so it has caused my entire life to slow way down. And the natural strength and force that I had as a young man, like it's very diminished through some of the things that I've been experiencing. And I don't have that intensity to just push through and do it. And I'm very much in a forced resting mode right now, very much in a place where if I do not allow myself to rest into what's happening right now, those subtle precision moves of the spirit within me to heal and to restore will mess things up. It would be like a doctor coming in trying to make a cut on some part of your body and you jerk and it's going to mess it up. It's not going to accomplish what it was intended to accomplish. In fact, it can often make things worse. If you are in a place in your life right now where you feel like you are just shut down and you don't have the strength and the energy and the activity that you've been experiencing, maybe you've been in a great upsurge of positivity and good things have been happening in your life. Answers to prayer, so to speak, have been taking place. You're manifesting better things in your life. And now that has somewhat slowed down and settled down and come into a place where you're not able to really do much and you're confused, you're angry, you're searching, do I have sin in my life or is there something wrong with me? You're searching, is there something wrong with me? Is there something that I'm doing wrong here? And the answer probably is yes, but that's not the issue. The issue is if things are slowing down and you're feeling that slowing and that restingness coming on you, this is a great time to accept that and surrender to that. Don't resist. Don't fight back. Don't push back. Because right now, that rest time for you is very crucial for you to get healing and health. As this election week comes and goes, which they all do, and things always tend to pretty much remain the same, but as it comes and goes, the stress, many people, many of you have been so stressed about the election and who's going to have the White House and, oh, God, help America, God save America. Listen, this week's going to come and go. New president will be sworn in January, and it's pretty much going to be the same shit show that it's been all along, right? But the stress that you're feeling from that, maybe just the stress of everyone around you, maybe you hold a certain political view and you're pretty chill about it, right? Like you're not pushing it, but some other people found out about it and you go to work and the whole time, listen, just take your eyes off of all of it and come back into that place of rest. Very, very important for you. So there's two things there. One, God may be saying no to you in the situation that you have tried to force or that you are trying to force. The other thing for many of you is you are right on track in your journey. And by the way, if God's saying no, you're still right on track. Like the timing is perfect. Trust me. God doesn't lose any of it. Eternity doesn't flinch because you messed up for a week, a month, a year, a few years, a decade, a couple decades. Eternity doesn't care. Divinity isn't like, oh no, what are we going to do? I missed that like 2 hours, which is what? Like not even a drop in the bucket, so to speak. Not even a drop in the ocean, so to speak, in relation to what eternity, to what infinite intelligence actually is. So you're right on track one way or the other. But if God is saying no to you, it's very important for you to come back into that place where you commune with God, to sit upon the throne of your own life and to say, okay, my King, show me. And until I'm shown, I'm just going to rest where I am. But if you're one of those people that's really been experiencing the things that you're looking for and you feel like you've been going in the right direction, just enjoy the rest that you're being given. There will be a season coming for you very, very soon where the bud will begin to appear on the vine again and then the fruit will be forthcoming very shortly. The other part of this is, which is kind of funny, and I get it, you'd be like, oh, well, this isn't really prophecy. Actual prophecy in the scriptures is forthtelling. So it's telling something that is here now that you need to hear, drawing something out of you. And then there's foretelling, where I tell things perhaps that may come. It's not the nature of this word this time. This is a forthtelling prophecy, and it's something that you need to hear, my friend. There are many, many people who have been going through a unique cycle of wondering in a lot of what seems to be confusion. Now, the confusion's on your part, okay? What you're going through isn't confusing. What you're going through is perfectly orchestrated by infinite intelligence. God is moving the things in your life and the people in your life that need to be to cause you to experience the greatest benefit. He's also, in those moves, doing the same for every other person and every other situation involved. So it's not like God is just favoring you and ditching everybody else. It is that God is trying to magnify everyone to bring everyone up at the same time. But you have been going through perhaps this journey where it has been like a wilderness, like you're confused. You're getting shown completely different perspectives about life and about things, about religion, about God. Like our concept of God is very skewed, very false, very off center and way over there in the cornfield, so to speak, from the truth, from that place where the kingdom of God dwells, where that spiritual life is manifested in physical form and released into the world around us. You may be one of these people that's been going through this process of questioning what you believe about a myriad of things, and even the way that you're living your life, the things that you're doing. You may be going through a process right now where you're trying to determine which way you should go with yourself. Listen very carefully to me, my friend. This is a season for you in your rest, to receive the clarity. Did you know that God is not shaken when you question something that you were taught? In fact, it is the Spirit of God illuminating you and pointing out things that you need to take another look at so that you can learn from the Father. You need to be taught by Christ. That's what needs to happen right now. And this corporate consciousness, this great cloud of witnesses that is surrounding us, and not in this sense as much as from within, for infinity literally exists within the human body, quantum physics, check it out, mind-blowing stuff. You are an extension of that life coming out of you. And in this season, you're being called to rest, because it is in that rest when you stop focusing on or stop feeling bad about the different things that you're reconsidering right now. It's in that rest that you're going to get the clarity you're looking for. It's in that rest that you'll get the understanding that you have been looking for. I said a little while ago, I've had some serious issues with my feet and some other health issues that have just made life very difficult for me in the physical realm. And it has forced me, first time in my life, forced me to sit, essentially. I can do very, very little physically right now as far as like manual labor and putting forth my efforts. But in this several months long process of me just being basically like someone has their hands on my shoulder, forcing me to sit down, the clarity has come to me, and the anointing has begun to flow again, and the freedom to speak truth, and to even get online and begin to do these videos now, even though I'm not in my personal journey where I feel like I should be to be doing this. In the rest, the Spirit of God has moved me to begin to do this. In fact, just doing this recorded prophecy, I haven't done one of these in years and years. And I've kind of toyed around with the idea, like thought about it, just casually along the way. I was talking to my son yesterday, and in speaking with him, we were talking about the YouTube channel, because I'm in the process of rebranding everything right now. In the process of talking to him, he mentioned the recorded prophetic words that I used to put out on a weekly basis and a monthly basis. And when I hung up the phone with him, it was like, start that now. And I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. But I'm doing it because in my rest, that clarity came to me. Get back out there and begin to preach this message to the world. Speak the truth that is in you and help hearts and minds heal. I'm here to help you live your life better, spirit, soul, and body. And I'm telling you that this season that you are in right now, this rest that you are in, whether it be forced rest so that you can get that final little bit of clarity, whether it be a forced rest where your ability to force and to push your own way are being greatly challenged, or whether it just be a season of rest for you. And that season of rest is there just because you have been fruitful, you have been expanding, you have been growing and evolving and experiencing this in your life. But God knows that now it's time for you to follow that natural cycle of the earth and shut down a little bit. Allow yourself to rest Allow yourself to heal, to get clarity, to let that quietness remind you that infinite reality that you come from and that you came forth from into this reality to show that reality here. In the description below, I'm going to have a link for you. If you would like your own personal recorded prophecy, all you need to do is click that link, fill out the form, and I will get a recorded word to you from the heart of the Father. I'll spend time focusing on you and your situation so that I can speak life into your experience. Also, at the end here, I'm going to have a video for the weekly prophetic word election week 2024. I hope you check that out. And until next time, be blessed, my friend.